Hello, I'm Bob Weir, and today's video features Antioquia Gold Inc. Antioquia is a junior mining exploration company which is focused primarily on exploring for precious metals, primarily gold, in Colombia. Its principal project is the Cisneros property, which is located 55 kilometers northeast of Medellin, the principal city in the department of Antioquia. With me today is Rick Thibault, President and CEO of Antioquia Gold. Rick, why did Antioquia come to Colombia, and what year was that?
We came to Colombia in the year 2007. We've been on the ground since then in an office and everything. And we came there because the original principals that formed the company had worked there before, and we saw the potential and that the country had become safe to work in.
And why did you zero in on Cisneros?
We actually went around looking for different projects, and this one caught our attention. And there was 3 local individuals, and we sat down with the original piece that was around 500 hectares, and we moved it from there. And the location close to Medellin, just an hour or so, with all the infrastructure.
So from 500 hectares, you're now over 5,600.
That's correct. We picked up a large chunk of land off to the side that originally was a joint venture with a group called Grupo de Bullet, the proponents behind Continental, and we've now changed that to an SR so that we have 100% of the property.
And was there any historical mining done in this area?
Quite a bit, actually, both an alluvial type mining where they mine the overburden, and we've so far discovered well over 60 artisanal tunnels in our property.
Okay, so you have been active there since 2007, and since 2009 you've done a considerable amount of drilling. Just exactly how much have you done?
We've done little over 32,000 meters of drilling, of which about 19,000 were done last year.
Antioquia has forged a strategic relationship with Desafío Minero, which is a wholly owned exploration subsidiary of Consorcio Minero Horizonte.
Consorcio Minero Horizonte.
Thank you. And Horizonte is one of Peru's largest mining companies, and I believe it's the second largest gold mining company in Peru. Is that correct?
It's the second largest underground gold producer at about 200,000 ounces a year. It's a private held company, which is probably why a lot of people have never heard of it. But they've been at mining in the Patas batholith for the last 30 years.
And what percentage of ownership do they have in?
They have 35.5% through 2 injections of capital, and that's share capital they own, 35.5.
And what strategic relationship does this mean for you?
It's actually quite an exciting one. We hear in Colombia about some other of the big companies coming in. They've come in, people don't know them. I would encourage the readers to just look up their website and that, but they bring in geology expertise, because the geology at the Cisneros project is very similar to their mine. That's what got them excited. We've used them, they're mining people, because they have mining contractors, and we wanted to see what it would be in Colombia. And when we were looking at process plants, they lent us one of their managers of maintenance. And so from a technical point of view, it's been just call it a dream come true, because we've been able to advance the project faster than just doing it on our own.
Okay, you have a very active program set up for 2012. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, 2012 is a year where we're going to make, come the end of the year, we're going to make some a major decision. We're going to do about 25,000 meters of drilling this year. About 6,000 is going to be to expand the areas that we already know, so that we can look towards a resource number in those areas. We've defined 3 other targets from last year, and we're going to start to get them to be what we call drill ready. And also from last year's drilling, we have 3 new targets. So we're moving out from the original 500 hectares, and we're starting to use the full 5,006. We're also going to, later in the year, start the underground tunnels. And these exploration tunnels is to help us in several areas. One is to get grade control so we understand, get our metallurgical bulk samples, get all the geotech, geomechanics, take all those unknowns away from going underground, but also to go underground drilling, which will cut our drilling costs and also very rapidly expand the resource numbers on the property.
Okay, these are a vein deposit.
That's correct.
What's the importance of that?
The vein deposits, unlike a porphyry, where the porphyry you can drill, put a 25-meter grid, just drill it off, you get a low grade, you go. But a porphyry deposit, a large porphyry deposit, will take 10 years or so to bring to production. A vein deposit like this, within a couple of years after you've set out your minimums, you could be into production. And your ounces will grow and grow. That's very much what the Parcoy mine, which belongs to Desafio, was. They started at a very low tonnage, and they've now grown to 200,000. Red Lake, Timmins, our viewers know those. 70 years, 100 years later, they're still producing.
Okay, the ramp that you talked about, this horizontal ramp, how long is it? How long will it take to put in place?
Well, the first one, we have 2 planned over the next couple of years, but the first one will be about 600 meters, of which 150 is very critical. It's the very first one. In the space of 2 to 3 months, we would be within 6 of the veins, and that's where we're headed, so that when we get into the veins, we can go along strike and that. So that's about, like I say, by the end of the year, we should be well into this operation.
You have just started a preliminary economic assessment.
That's correct.
How long will that take?
Well, we've started it in-house. We're collecting all the data. We've been with our qualified person or the group that's going to do it, and we're using real mining costs. So we're looking at continuing the drilling so we get that information, some of the underground stuff. So by the end of the year is what we're trying to do, is get the PEA out.
Okay, if the PEA is favorable, and I'm sure it will be, what would be the next steps after that?
If it's favorable, our next steps after that will be to move this thing towards production, which implies laying out the underground mine planning. Our exploration tunnel will be large enough that we won't have to go back and reopen the tunnel. Building the plant, we've acquired the major equipment for the plant already, in the hopes that, as we mentioned, is that we're going to have positive. It will shortcut it, and the environmental impact assessment has been put in, and a full-blown mine will just require an addendum to it.
Will you be doing an NI 43-101? Because up to now there are no numbers for it. There can't be any quantification at this point.
That's correct, because the way it is, the 43-101 will be part of the preliminary economic assessment to back up the numbers in it, and so once again we expect that sometime near the end of the year.
Okay, so if you get into production in 2014, what kind of production rate are you anticipating?
Well, we'd start off, the first step would be to bring your production up to something like 25,000, and that's a 300 to 350 ton per day operation. But the end goal is, and then we would go up to 50,000, which is a 600 ton per day operation. And then after that, as you go on, say 5 years out or whatever, and as your exploration provides you with more resources, you can move that up. Which, like I mentioned earlier, our partners, Desafio or Horizonte, went from a start of around 16, and they're now at 200,000.
Okay, thank you. The junior mining sector has not been in favor over the last few months, and as a result, many of the companies, their shares are have not been performing particularly well. In our minds, if Antioquia is able to accomplish the goals and milestones that they set out for them, then the shares currently traded around 9 or 10 cents have a considerable amount of upside. We currently have a target price of 70 cents a share, and that is contingent upon the junior mining sector improving and also Antioquia receiving a favorable PEA. Rick, is there any one last word you'd like to say?
Yes, I've enjoyed this little chat, and I see we're both optimists. We're both wearing gold-colored ties.
Right. Thank you. For eResearch, this is Bob Weir.